To get the ball rolling here, Josh, again, I want to thank you for being out here with us.
Yeah,
kicking
man,
it with us, man. We love to have you, man. But to get the ball rolling here, I wanted to get into talking a bit about, I know Glenn, you with a Mexican woman, and Josh, I believe, you with a Caucasian woman. Talking a little bit about mixed interracial relationships. Kind of, let's just say, we're all darker skinned folks. So in the black community,
Shit.
what is your what? I'm black.
Huh?
Since when?
What is it?
Since
I thought it was
when?
purple.
This guy
I thought I was blue.
Philly like dark blue, like grayish.
You're very funny. I'm very milk chocolate.
Metallic.
Very milk chocolate.
Metallic.
Very I'm sweet like milk chocolate for all you guys out
This
there.
boy sweet over
Listen,
there, man.
listening to these, but I'm not. But to get in that topic again, man, it's just kind of like the lived-in experience of being kind of in an interracial relationship, kind of how going through something like that. What kind of criticisms have you heard? Do you feel like it's right or wrong to be treated that way? How do you feel about it, guys?
Shit, to be honest, I don't mind the criticism behind, being in an original relationship, people of any race or color, background, nationality, they all have their opinions, and
Sure.
shoot, to be honest, I don't really focus on the whole, race aspect, I just like what I like, everyone have their own opinions of what they like, Glenn, Kenny, my kids, they're Mexican and Puerto Rican, and right now I'm getting a Caucasian, like you said, so I just like what I like, depending on how the person treats me, and, vice versa, how we treat them, I feel like you can be purple, green, orange, you can be any color,
Name it every color in the Crayola box.
Yeah, it all comes down to how the person, treats you and respects you,
What kind of criticisms have you heard being in an interracial relationship for it looks like some time now? You seem
I haven't really heard anything, if it's not.
Once you go black, you never go back.
Oh, yeah.
It's changing lives.
I haven't really heard anything, to be honest with you. If anything, I get more looks, than anything, If people really don't say much, you can tell who's genuine, by their way they look, everyone have that certain look with, someone gives you a. You guys understand where I'm coming from.
You know what?
It's a certain look that you get.
You're right. What he's saying is like, there's not really any kind of things that people say. We're in the 21st century, and we've done so much.
I've heard it all.
So it would be kind of senseless for people to say stuff, but people, they see too, and I don't think it's personal.
Yeah.
Between black and white or black and Spanish or black and anything. I think even if it was a white person and a Chinese person who were holding hands, walking together, people are going to stare because they're different. So I think it's just that, people, we always tend to put a little bit more attention on things that are just, it's different.
Yeah, it's different, It all comes down to the person, I feel like, people have their own opinions of what, they think things should be right or wrong,
Yeah.
I just know, I know a lot of interracial couples, and I feel like, everyone is just as equal as me, I haven't heard anything disrespectful on their part, and I haven't heard anything disrespectful on my part. I've never been hit with any type of racialness or why you with her or vice versa, or why is she with you, type of thing, I feel like, it all comes down with, just certain looks people give you, for example, I went out yesterday, pre-birthday celebration. My birthday is tomorrow, and
happy birthday to John. Happy birthday.
Tomorrow, but appreciate it.
I might not be around, so I'm
I feel
saying.
But I feel like we went to like a high, I guess upclass type of restaurant, and I guess for that type of restaurant, it's not known for people of color to be in that type of I guess atmosphere. It's known for a mostly dynamic, white crowd, pretty much, so as soon as I walk in there, I'm already joking around with my girl, while you're right now, I'm looking for black people in this bitch.
I can't lie.
Every time I go to somewhere that she invite me to, all right, let's see, 1, 2.
How many niggas can I spot today?
So I feel like, when I walked in, they all give me, I won't say all, but, it was 1 or 2 or 3, give you a certain type of love, like, whoa, you know. But I mean, I love it, to be honest. You know, like
Right,
in the spot.
Yeah, exactly.
You should be. You should be.
For real.
I mean, I don't want to say you should be offended, but if you're offended, then that's more
that's
your
good.
person.
Bro,
You know,
that's personal.
another thing I thought about too, bro, and I'm pretty sure this is a situation, bro, you big as hell, bro.
Yeah.
So no matter what, you can walk in, they'll be like, damn, homeboy swole.
Nice and swole.
Yeah, you
Homeboy,
know,
that chest ain't small.
So I know.
come on now, come on.
You gotta be the rock.
You know,
You looking like Terry Crews, the short Terry Crews.
Like, damn.
You know what
Homeboy
I'm saying?
look like a
Yeah.
bodybuilder around the
boy,
boy.
you like
Kevin Hart,
Kevin
Kevin boy, come
Kevin
on.
Hart,
Boy,
Kevin Hart on steroids, boy. Kevin Hart.
You look like
So your wife is just looking like, damn,
Yeah,
bro.
that
I know
too,
y'all
bro.
remember his Uncle
You
Ricky
look
Jr.
scary,
was
bro.
big on the top, small on the bottom. He was big on top, just got out of jail, small on the bottom.
I've been working out, eating good, you know. But
Life is good.
Healthy life,
good,
man.
Healthy life, you know. So.
I feel you on that, man. I feel like it's a lot of a more of a personal thing when people
Yeah.
have questions and judgments, you know, based on your preference, you know, dating wise. But I personally heard a lot of criticisms. You know, I've been in a couple interracial relationships, and I've gotten criticisms on, you know, social media. Certain people have messaged me like, you know, what are you doing? You know, you couldn't find a black girl, or so typical of a black man to date outside of the race, and so typical for you to choose, you know, a woman of a lighter complexion, or you probably like white women, or you probably like, you know, oh, look at you dating a Spanish girl. What's wrong with finding a black girl? You know what I'm saying? And you know, personally, I at first I kind of was confused as far as like why, you know, why are you upset?
Yeah, come at me this way.
Like
you
I
know?
never understood
Yeah.
what the frustration about that is.
I feel like some people, you know, I was watching this YouTube, you know, video on the way over here about interracial couples, you know, a little bit, you know, and
Studying, okay.
you know, studying a little bit, you know, and they feel like, you know, for coming from the outside looking, you know, from the outside looking in, you know, they feel like, I guess, a threat, like you're dating the enemy, you know. One of the questions they mentioned was like, oh, what if your ancestors, you know, from way back then was, you know, for me, in my head, my girl's white, you know, the question was asked, you know, what if her ancestors were the masters of your ancestors, you know? And I'm like, you know, I mean, I can't go all the way back in time and be like, hey, I'm gonna marry, you know, or be with your so granddaughter 10 times, you know, or way down in the future, so don't treat my, you know, ancestors like this, you know?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, what happened in the past is the past. You know, of course I have so much respect for everything that happened, you know, all the slavery and all that crazy that happened in the past, but, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like once you put a color in something, then you're part of the problem.
Yeah, when you kind of put a limit as far as color-wise, you limit,
you know.
kind of your options in terms of romance. I'll even say love, man. I feel like, you know, love isn't confined to a specific culture or a specific, you know, nationality. You know, I mean, I know your girl is Mexican. You know, Kenny, I know you.
I've never really had a relationship in interracial relationships. I wouldn't call it relationships,
But I know you. What you're not interested in women of color? You know, women of all colors. And you can say
No.
You would date any girl of any color.
yeah, I dated. A lot
But
of-
your like your choice is more what African American.
No, it's actually it's open, bro.
It's open. So
Yeah.
you mean so vice versa. So it's
Yeah,
like, you know,
definitely.
All the Asian
however
women.
the person
Yeah.
that you
All
feel
the-
and come at you and the vibe matches.
Yeah,
They
Chinese.
can be
Like,
Yeah.
oh, he said China. Oh, he said his preference, guys. He likes the Asians. The Asians.
Chinese,
Hit my dog Kenny
You know
up.
what I'm saying? I'm open, bro. You know.
Sure
It's
fried
like-
rice.
it's like
Chicken fried rice. make it for my
whoever
boy.
treats you good. You
Yeah,
feel me?
Make it for my boy.
You gotta know how to cook.
Yeah.
man.
He
But
said chicken fried.
what's your main preference, you know, when it comes to dating, you know?
That's my main preference.
Yeah, like, you know, is it African American, is it Caucasian, is it Hispanic?
There's no main preference for you, to be honest,
So,
bro.
but what is the ratio of girls that you dated? Has it been more blacks, or has it been, you know, like a
Actually,
mixture, 50
it's
white, 50?
been less blacks, bro.
So what's
It's
the
more
ratio at?
Spanish and
Spanish?
white, bro.
But why more Spanish?
Oh, he's a hunter. He's
Huh?
a snow bunny
I
hunter.
said why more Spanish?
Yeah, it's snow bunnies.
Well, the thing is, bro.
I know he went to
back in
Fort
high
Myers.
school, bro. You know,
Full Mars High. He was a hunter. Glenn Kenny had the sniper rifle. You seen this nobody's.
Yo, listen,
Turn the
bro.
corner. Pew.
Listen, bro.
Jessica, come
Bro,
here.
listen, look, back in high school, bro. It was like all the black girls were more like stuck up, bro.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
In a way, you know what I'm saying? Like you try to talk to them.
they
and,
wasn't
you
fucking
know,
with Kenny.
Well, they was, but they wasn't. They was.
Hold on, there was.
There was my credibility.
No.
I've been that nigga.
I still am that nigga. I've only dated two
They was,
black
but they
girls in
wasn't.
my whole life, you know, to be honest with you, African Americans, and you know, it was just in high school really, and you know, one was a more of like a forceful, like, hey, you want to be my boyfriend? And I was like, I'm on your freshman, you know. I ain't gonna say her name, you know, but you know, at the time, you know, she was just like, you know, 'cause I was already talking to a girl, and I guess the girl I was talking to, she had beef with or whatever.
Yeah.
So and I guess she picked up on that.
She just basically took you there.
So she was like, "Hey,
Pretty much. She picked him up, put him in the car.
like, she got my number right after track practice.
You got
know,
there, your little chocolate drop.
Bro, I want to
You
know
gotta
how
take
it
it, bro.
After the
You
podcast.
gotta take it.
I want to know.
Yo, she got my number and
Kidnapped.
the same day she was like, "You want to be my boyfriend?" I was like, "You know, I'm a freshman." She was, I think, she was a sophomore. So I'm thinking, shoot, I'm dating a sophomore. Like, yeah, you know. But my God, bro, I mean, this girl put me through hell, man. We went to football games and like, hey, I'm gonna say her name. I'm gonna say, Stephanie. You know, I'll say what up.
Just
You know.
the initial. Just give me the initial.
No. Just say Stephanie. Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
don't say
Stephanie.
Stephanie,
I was like,
'cause I
you
know some Stephanies.
So you know, we'll go to some football games together. You know, we were walking around. You know, she wasn't, I guess, the holding hand type. You know,
Yeah,
where she
damn.
probably just didn't want to see the alter nigga. You know, so
You try to hold hands.
I tried. She's like, yeah, what you doing? I'm like,
You tried to vice grip her.
you know, but you know, we walking around, and you know, she walking in front of her people. You know, I'm walking next to her, and like, oh, Stephanie. You know, I'm almost slipped up and said her name. Oh, Stephanie. That's your little man. That's your little boyfriend. Like, no. I was just like,
She wasn't claiming you, bro,
yeah,
for
she
the
wasn't
people.
playing. But you know, but when we gonna sit
crazy.
down, oh, you mind giving me a soda? You know, this and that. And I'm
Oh,
like,
bro,
Ask
dude.
your nigga to get you a soda,
Just-
bro.
So she was a bully.
Yeah, bro.
I don't
You got
know.
bullied, bro.
I tried, man. Why wouldn't
Bro, Glenn said she was a bully. She said,
Bro, she
no,
would
I've been
walk
gonna
me-
take
she
your
would
lunch
walk
money,
me-
bro.
She walked you
She
to
would
class.
walk me to football practice after school.
A bully
And I would try to kiss
and a
it. And
full-time
she'd be like,
security guard.
she'll be like, nah, don't try to do all that. I'm like,
What?
I'm your nigga, what you mean I can't do all that, you know? But of course I didn't say that. I'm just like, all right, bet.
So you was really getting bullied.
Hey, all right,
You was
bet.
really getting bullied.
Give
You
me
couldn't
a
tell.
hug, you know, but
Give
it
me a-
didn't. I think she was just trying to hold down her territory. So
That was your
the
buddy.
girl that, you know, was coming at me, the girl she had beef, she didn't want her to date me and that type, you know? So she was just trying to like, oh, you know, this girl know you
She was
mine.
playing defense.
Yeah, you
It was
know,
a status
was
move.
crazy, you know.
Okay. So
And the other girl,
It's like you
did,
can
she-
play on the team, but you can't hold the ball. Basically.
Exactly.
pretty much.
You know what I'm saying?
you can ride the bench, but you can't play in the game.
Yeah.
I
You're
like
the
that.
quarterback and you ain't touching the ball.
Man, I was
That's
the
crazy.
boy, man. I
That's
was,
crazy,
bad.
boy.
Yeah, I was
You
bad.
get a
Go-
jersey, but
go
you
get-
don't never get no plates.
Go get the towel, boy. You feel me? Damn,
Every time I went for a kiss, time out.
Towel.